Now, I wouldn't normally call myself a conspiracy theorist. I have some concerns about media, corporations, power, and I've shared them on a couple of my videos in relation to the media here in the UK. One of the videos I did was on the fact that I've left Facebook. I was really tired of the increasing fake news, the rage bait, the opportunities for people to really make horrible comments, and it wasn't being addressed by the platform, I didn't think. Um, and yeah, I tried to grin and bear it, to have all the advantages that I've had on Facebook over the last 20 years. But in the end, I just thought I just don't want it anymore. I came off Facebook a couple of weeks ago and I'm doing very nicely without it. I did a video on it and a lot of you kind of agreed with me. A lot of you were saying, yes, I've come off there too, and I now come to YouTube, which is lovely. I also did a video on the BBC, and I know it was other medias as well, but it was the way the headlines over these retirement living standards, the fact that I think it was 3/4 of us are not going to have an income for a moderate lifestyle. That was the headline. When you look more in depth, the moderate income, or the moderate lifestyle costs rather, is £32,000 for a single person. I disagreed with that. I think the majority of us disagreed with it. It was scaremongering, and the cynics amongst us thought, I wonder if it's because they want us working and kind of occupied and producing money for the economy, etc. That there's a view on it. But I did that video as well. But something came to my attention only yesterday, and I wanted to share it on here because some of you may not be aware of it. I was only made aware of it because I'm a creator here on YouTube, a very small creator. But YouTube put a post on our dashboard, and I looked into it in a bit more depth, and I think it would have passed me by. And it's relevant to those of us in the UK. The UK government have a public consultation ongoing at the moment. The consultation closes on the 31st of August 2026, so we have a very small window here. The consultation document is called Watch This Space, a new strategic direction for UK media. Now, on first glance, it looks quite positive because what the government is saying is the aim of this document is to stop or limit fake news and the division that's happening across social media. And my ears pricked up because I thought that's kind of what I've been arguing against. That's what I've been seeing. That's why I left Facebook. And I'm on social media, I'm on YouTube, and I'm also on TikTok. And I've kind of, I think, trained the algorithm that I pretty much get the content that I want to watch now. So my ears pricked up at this. Oh, okay, how are they going to tackle this? And this is the bit I don't like. The government are proposing a mandatory, what they call prominence regime, which is gobbledygook, but what it actually means is they want to give a privileged position on social media platforms, YouTube included. They want to give a privileged position to traditional broadcasters like the BBC, ITV, Channel 4, but also other media news outlets yet to be decided. And that means that on your feeds, on your home pages, instead of seeing content that might be aligned with what your interests are, the big legal privileged position, you're going to be seeing a lot more BBC, Channel 4 and other media news. Now, there's a few elements to this. Firstly, yes, I have an axe to grind. As a very small creator on YouTube myself, this is going to push my content way down the list. So people are not going to discover me as much. So potentially I'm not going to get the income that I'm trying to build here on social media and the platform I'm building here. Okay, that's, that might be my axe to grind, but it actually is a much bigger concern that I have than that. Let's take that out of the picture. My concern is that I'm a consumer also of content here on YouTube. As I said, I left Facebook and I'm happy to come to YouTube because I learn a lot on YouTube. Not just news, just interesting things. And if YouTube, my home feed, is suddenly now going to be overtaken by traditional media outlets who, frankly, as far as I'm concerned, have a big enough platform as it is, why do they want to come and take over the independents? Well, they're saying it's because they want to do away with the fake news. I think there is other ways that could be dealt with. I saw some racially hateful comments on Facebook by people, real people in my local area. I complained to the platform, to Facebook, about it. My complaint was not upheld. There was nothing they were going to do about it. That's what needs tackling, in my opinion. AI, yes, people are using that for ways to make fake news. That's to be tackled. But by allowing now the big media corporations to come and take over a platform like YouTube, that is a concern for me. Now, the cynic in me says, yes, the corporations are probably losing a lot of money because they recognise people are moving away from mainstream media for their news. A lot of you in the comments have said you do the same. I tend to see, if I'm on TikTok, for example, I might see a news headline and it might be rubbish, but it might be something like, is that real? So then I will go to an assortment of media. I've said to you I like The Guardian. I do go to the BBC. I'll go to an assortment of news outlets to discern for myself what's going on. I think there's a lot of us who do that. But the traditional broadcasters are possibly losing income from their own platforms, and so they want to dominate now the social media. That's a more benign view. The more sinister view is it's about control. That's what really, really bothers me, that these great big organised churning out this, and let's face it, is the anti-Beeb the BBC that it was when it was first launched, the benevolent organisation seeking to inform, educate and entertain us. Yes, we've all enjoyed the BBC over the years and high quality documentaries, doubtless. But I'm seeing a movement that's a little bit more insidious and controlling, and they want to control the population a little bit. That's the more conspiracy theorist in me, and I do find this very worrying. The BBC, ITV, big organisations have lost face over the last few, well, dare I say, decades. All these high-paid presenters who have done scandalous things in plain sight. They've been in plain sight doing all the awful things they've done. Highly paid. Just recently, our main BBC news anchor on the 10 o'clock news, horrendous things. They've lost face. And, do I really want these organisations now taking control of the more independent creators? Because small creators like me are going to be pushed way down your newsfeed. You're not going to come across it anymore. It's going to be very much dominated, by the sounds of it, by news headlines from the BBC. I just can't. I do understand why they're saying they want to end the fake news, blah, blah, blah. It's causing a lot of worry for me. Now, there are documents. I'm going to link them in the description here. They're on the government website. The main public consultation document is called Watch This Space, a new strategic direction for UK media. And there is a a document. Also, I'll put the link there that you can reply to it. But bear in mind, this is a very small window. It opened in June, it closes in August. We've got a very small window to vote with our feet here. I do urge you to go and look the document. I've not read it all and digested it myself. I've read the introduction and I've read the executive summary. It's all very lovely. It's typical auntie, government being very benevolent, looking after us. And the first couple of paragraphs I can relate to. It's about how, as young people, we grew up with, Noel's house party, good, clean family fun, the BBC giving us news. That's kind of a nice image. However, we know what was also going on at these organisations at the time with these presenters, don't we? So it's not quite as clean cut as they would like us to believe. So that's how it's leading, and how more these days there is more fake news. And yes, I can agree with that as well. And especially at times of civil unrest, and we have seen that here in the UK in the last few weeks. You'll get an incident happening in the news, and then all the hate campaigns start, and you've got riots on the street. So yes, of course, fake news is harmful. I just feel that there's another way to deal with this, and I'm not sure that bringing organisations like the BBC in to bring order back is the right way. And they've also mentioned that it's not just the great big ones, it's going to be local media outlets, and I really don't like those. Which was often a problem with Facebook, there'd be a local news headline, you click on it, and there was either a paywall or it would take you to their own media, and then you're just confronted by ridiculous adverts. Now, yes, I know YouTube has adverts, and I have adverts on my videos as well, and that's where we generate our income. And as a consumer of content myself, I accept the adverts, I watch them, I can skip a couple, but I watch them. Same as we did in ITV programmes watching Coronation Street years ago. You accepted the commercial breaks and you went off to have a snack or do something. But these media are not your regular adverts. They are, you cannot literally click them off, and they're just ridiculous. So I hate all that. And the thought of that YouTube is going to be taken over by that gives me the horrors. It really does. So I look forward to reading your comments on this. Please go and look at the consultation document. You decide what you think about it, and if needed, and if you feel you need to, please vote with your feet. Do some action here, because this is very much worrying me. I'll see you on the next video.